to go, then great. All right, hopefully that'll work. So we are going to just navigate through Canvas. I know some of you were a little bit nervous about it yesterday when Miss Claiborne was talking about it, but I want to just remind you, like the easiest, what Applebee's advice was yesterday was just to get in and play around with it. That is exactly how I learned. I actually learned most of what I know from another teacher at a different school in the district. And what she did was she just gave me access. She made me a co-teacher on her Canvas account. And so I could kind of see how she had things arranged and what she did and when she added things so that I could just sort of observe for a while. So hopefully we can do that for you today. But like I said, like Bradley said in the email, after we got together and talked about it, you know, part of the issue with having used Canvas so long is I forget what it's like not to know how to do something on Canvas. There are still things I don't know how to do, don't get me wrong, but I forget like where the basics are. And I didn't want to make a video or do a slideshow that wastes someone's time. So at any point, if you have a question, just ask. Some of us may be like very, very beginner, and I'm just looking at the screen. I know some of you have used Canvas in your classrooms, and so you may be kind of waiting around until we get to some more advanced stuff. So like I said, just interrupt, but we're gonna go ahead and get into Canvas right now. And so it's gonna say access denied. Hang on, let me try to minimize you guys down. It's gonna say access denied because the district has locked all of their Canvas courses just because they're updating things all the time now. So, but if you go to your dashboard over here on the left-hand side, you should have some classes. Does everyone see like a class that should be named for you? Right? No. Yes? No?
I'm having trouble seeing my stuff and yours at the same time.
Okay, so one thing, Andy, do you want to handle that question?
Like you put up your stuff and mine went away, even though I had minimized the Zoom.
So, there is a way, at the top of the Zoom screen, there's an exit full screen button. If you exit full screen, it takes you to a, just a regular window, and you can open the Zoom window and your Canvas stuff side by side.
Oh, now I see you. Okay. Okay. I think I did that wrong. Okay. All right. I'll work it out. Thank you.
Well, and the other option is like if you want to log into Zoom in your phone,
yeah,
then you can have your computer screen sort of side by side. Okay. So, like I said, I don't know what you guys don't know. So, let's just start with some basics. Like over here on the left-hand side, your dashboard is kind of where the kids will start. If we're just talking about how to help kids get to where they need to be. They also have access to a calendar so that they can kind of see what's due, when it's due. And I'm just showing you my calendar for the kids. I don't know that that's gonna be that big of a deal during this time period. This is a place where kids may or may not know. This button right here on the left, the inbox, this is a way that they can email you in your course. They don't have to have your email address. It works kind of just like our regular email, that if you type someone's name in, all they need to do is they click on that button, they go up here to compose a new message, and they can select courses, because what the kids may or may not know is they're enrolled in everyone's Canvas course. Everyone here at Nichols Junior High in Arlington ISD has a Canvas course. It's just most of you, if you haven't been using it, you haven't published your course. And so that's, they may not realize that, but they can select their courses, like they can choose mine, and then they can type in my name and a subject, and then they can type their message right here and send it. It comes straight to your Outlook account. So if you have that as a pop-up, then you can, it should come to you. You don't even have to be logged into Canvas every day if they email you. I just wanted to check something real quick. Hang on. If you have a kid who needs to turn in an assignment, or you need to get to that kid, but for some reason you don't have access to Teams, or you want that kid to get the message, maybe not their parent, because let's be honest, sometimes our parents aren't good about checking messages. You can actually email the kids through Canvas that way as well. Same way by typing in, choosing the course and then typing in their message. I posted a discussion question on my Canvas yesterday, just a check-in question, not a you have to do this, just because. And one of my kids responded back with something that, you know, made me really not afraid for her, but kind of concerned. So I emailed her to make sure that everything really was okay. She had had something happen with her family at the beginning of the spring break. And so that's how I contacted her. Some other things. Oh, go ahead.
Are the kids going to receive these instructions on how to navigate Canvas? So like how to email us and everything, or no?
I don't know about that. But like the other really helpful feature on Canvas is the help button over here on the left-hand side. It will take you to like all different kinds of services so that you can answer some questions, but I don't know if kids will receive that. If they don't, then we will type something up and let you guys post it on your Canvas or send it out through email, just so that everyone will know. It's something that I've taught my kids how to do, but I don't know if everyone who uses Canvas has taught that.
I have a question.
Yes.
And I might have missed this because I saw the part where you said access denied.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, okay, so this phase, the lessons are there for us, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can you tell me, where do I go to find these district lessons? And then how do I upload these to my personal Canvas?
Okay, so this is a question that we discussed yesterday after when Andy and Don and Bradley and I met. We're not quite sure, and I even emailed some district people. There are a couple of theories that might happen. They could share something to what's called the Canvas Commons, and then you just import it into your classroom, and I can show you how to do that. Or apparently, and Donaldson, you're on this call, right? What are my history teachers on this call? Anyone? No history teachers? Can you hear me? Did I lose you?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. So apparently in the history department, the district actually uploaded lessons to their own personal Canvas courses. Like the district input those lessons into your Canvas course. I have not seen anything like that happen in mine yet. So I don't know if those lessons are available yet. I don't know that those lessons are going to be available until maybe next Monday. And I know that makes me nervous too, but hopefully they will be some kind of self-paced lessons. I don't know how much you're going to have to be able to do to provide those lessons for the kids. I think because the district certainly doesn't want to push something out for a bunch of teachers who don't even know how to manipulate the tool. So that timeline, I wish I had more answers for you. I don't. But I will say that when it happens, it's not like I have pressing issues at home. Like I'll be here and we can, when it happens, as soon as it happens, we can have another Zoom conference and load it all in together. So that is the one thing we don't have to worry about, a meeting time where everyone can be together to do it together.
Hey Naz, it's Donaldson. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties.
That's okay.
Social studies is on Canvas already. The social studies district-wide already.
Is that the new stuff, or is that the stuff that they uploaded into your Canvas at the beginning of the year?
Let me.
Or at the beginning of the
check.
semester? Because I know the history department does that. Andy's mom is a 6th grade teacher at Miller and teaches social studies. And so that's how we had some information on that kind of stuff.
You're right. It's just all the stuff from the beginning of the year.
So
I thought it might have had some more.
no, it's okay. That's our hope, is that the district just goes ahead and loads it all into your Canvas course, so you don't even have to worry with that. But I can't guarantee that's going to happen.
Okay, so then if they do, then how do the kids know what to do? Like, is there a way that we just release certain stuff, or how does
Yes.
that work?
So I'm going to pull up my Canvas course just so that you can kind of see like what it looks like. And I'm going to show you some features on here. So yes, let's see, Sunday night, I posted this question right here. I created first off, this is a module. So see how this part is kind of grayed?
Mm-hmm.
And you can label your module whatever you want. During normal times, mine might just be first 6 weeks, and it's all the things that we do during the first 6 weeks. Or it can be the unit, like right before spring break, we did a novel, and so I just named the unit after the novel. And then these are all some of the things that they had to do during that time. Okay, but you'll notice that there are these green check marks. So Sunday night, I decided I was going to put a discussion question on my Canvas page, because sometimes some of my kids have the Canvas app on their phone, which they can download that app as well, and you can as well. And I was kind of a little bit heartbroken that none of the kids responded back on Monday. And then yesterday, when we were talking about Canvas, I looked around, and this green arrow right here was not like, it was just grayed out, because Canvas Expert had not published my module. So none of the kids, so watch what happens right now. You can see it, but when I go over here to student view, like they couldn't see it, okay? Or you can see it, but if I unpublish it and I go to student view, it's gone, because nothing is going to show on anyone's Canvas, any kid's Canvas, until you publish it. So what the district will do, probably, we're guessing, is that they will load all of those materials into your Canvas course and give you a timeline on when to publish something. Or maybe they just say publish when you feel that your kids are ready to move on. I don't know. I know for social studies, I think they just tell them, like, publish this as you go. And usually the things that they create are templates, so that you can adjust and modify it as you need. But yeah, like, if I don't want kids to see something right away, because some of my kids are eager beavers and they want to do everything as soon as it's published, even if they're like in math class, supposed to be working on their math, then I just unpublish it. And then when I'm ready for them to see it, I publish it, and now it's there for them to do. So going back to your question, I think they'll probably just load it into your Canvas and then tell you when to publish things so that students can view them.
Okay, thank you. Also, can you, like, if they have something that they publish,
Mm-hmm.
and then I make it accessible to the kids,
Mm-hmm.
how is it possible that I can add things to it to supplement, like a
Yep.
video or?
Yep. So let's say you want to add, so does everyone understand? So here's your best trick. After I create something, student view. I always check student view. For me, that's the easiest. I'm going to show you a couple more things over here, like view course stream. They also have the to-do list. My to-do list is kind of long because I haven't graded their projects and their last discussion question, but they'll have a to-do list as well. Let me show you in student view. That would be more helpful, I think. So in Student View, they can view the course stream. They can also view the course calendar. My kids don't have any due dates right now, so their to-do list is blank, okay? That's in Student View. I think that Student View is probably my best tool because when I create something, I can always go look at it from a student's point of view and see if it's really what I want. Over here, like your settings will have a lot of options later if you want me to show you how to minimize that for kids. So notice how in Teacher View, I have all these different options. Student View, my kids only have one option, that's modules, because if you say we're going to take a quiz, then they get all confounded and they go to quizzes and then they can't find the thing that they want. So and I can show you that later, but I'm just going to try to run down like all the things. So notice how the I is blacked out. That means that the students can't see that right here.
Ms. Naz.
Yes.
Hey, I'm sorry for interrupting. Quick question. It's
Go for
Thomas.
it.
Hey, when you publish your assignment, how soon, if you want to edit that assignment, how soon can you edit it? Because I know once you publish it, you can see it in the student's view.
Right.
So how soon do the kids see it before
as soon as you publish it?
Oh, okay. Okay.
So as soon as you hit publish, it will show to the kids. But there are some things like quizzes that you can create where you can set a timer, like it won't publish until a certain time, or it's only available during certain times, or they might even need a code to take it. So there are some measures, especially for like quizzes, that you can create so that they can't just do it whenever they want.
Right. So just make sure everything is the way you want it before you publish it. And then the student view is basically to verify that it's actually visible to them.
Right.
Okay. Gotcha.
But even like so let's say I wanted to change something about the question. So yes, on Sunday I posted a discussion question. So I'm just going to kind of show you what that looks like. So I just typed in my question. I highlighted the actual question because, you know, sometimes the kids don't read so thoroughly. And then they can reply to the question. I can reply to them, different things. But let's say I wanted to edit something on there. I made a mistake. I can edit it at any time. There are some things that they'll say like, oh, kids have already taken this quiz. Are you sure you want to edit? But you can edit your work at any time if you need to.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So to ask, sorry.
Go for it.
To ask something that they've already done, the district's already done, that I need to edit and then like put in a video or something like that.
All right. So let's practice that. So does everyone have their own personal Canvas course up?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to show you on my screen how to do some of that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go create a new Canvas course so that we can start it from here. So I'm going to say Zoom Canvas. This is me starting a new course. You shouldn't need to. You should have one that has all your kids already added. But I'm going to start a new one just so you can kind of see some of the basics. So it looks very different now, right? You can see over here where it says that it's unpublished. At the start of the semester, I forgot to publish my Canvas course for like 3 weeks, and the kids they thought I'd lost my mind. But just, you know, make sure you publish your Canvas course before you expect kids to do it. If the district loads it in, as I'm guessing they will, you'll just have to publish assignments. But if you have yours open, I want you to go ahead and create a module right here, that blue button. And a module name is like a unit name. However you want to call that, name that. I have a feeling that they'll do that for you, but just for knowledge, I'm gonna let you see what it looks like. And you can see it has a lock until. If I choose lock until, Like you could theoretically build a whole semester's worth of work and then keep it locked until March 28th. But I'm not going to do that. Okay. And then now I have this module. You'll see it's not published. So kids, they won't be able to see anything and until I publish it. So let's say you want to add an assignment. Let's add a video, Tina. So I'm going to add something to my module. I'm not going to add a new module. I'm going to add something to my unit. So I'm going to click this plus button. Plus means add. And then you're going to get this screen. And this is where you get to choose a lot of different options. And I'm going to choose a page first. Page just means it's something for kids to view. It won't be interactive other than just to view. So like it's great for a video. So choose page. And if I go too fast, someone yell at me. And then right here where it says new page, you're going to click on new page because we're creating a new page. And let's name it fractions. Or you can name it whatever you want. It's still unpublished, right? This is where sometimes I'm like, this is the not user-friendly part of Canvas. So you're like, well, I didn't do anything. I just named a page. You actually have to go into the page. There are 3 dots here and one says edit. That's basically just letting you edit like what this part says, okay? You actually have to click on that and now we're at the fractions page. This is a content page, like a page in a textbook. So got the publish button here. Now I have to go to edit right here. And it works just like anything else. We're gonna insert you wanna insert a video. So we're gonna insert a video and it would work the same way as inserting a video into a PowerPoint or something like that. You would go get your video. Oh, sorry. Always check and make sure. Here's my legal issue. Like always view the video before you post it. I probably shouldn't have to tell anyone that, but just in case. Make sure it's approved for AISD.net. If it's not approved, you can still approve it, but just make sure it's appropriate for all kids. If you approve something for a 7th grader, it's also getting approved for a 12th grader and a kindergartner. So just because you think, well, that's okay for 7th graders to know, maybe it's a little scary or a little bit troubling, just remember, like, it's also now approved for kindergartners. So just be careful of that, please. So let's say, what am I doing? Nope, I don't want to report them. We want to get the embed code, or however you choose to do it. I would embed. I don't want this video.
Let's learn.
No, let's not.
Let's learn frac.
You also might be learning like, where's the embed code? Someone help me. Where's the embed code? I've been out of school too long.
I don't know.
It's that little, no, I don't know.
Hey, YouTube, making me look bad. Oh, they're probably not gonna let me embed anything. Sorry. Sometimes even the tech people get stumped.
So here's the thing with the approval.
It's not that easy.
Forget to click approve. The kids can't see it in Canvas.
Yes.
So I've run into this place where I've embedded a video and the kids go, I can't click it. It says I don't have the access. It's because it's not approved for AISD. So make sure that bar's blue. Otherwise, your video is not going to show up to the kids. It works on yours. It won't work on the kids.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Andy, question, if it's a video, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, if it's a video that's like on the IFD, would we assume it's approved or?
Yeah.
It should be.
It should be, but when you go in to link it, you still have to make sure that blue bar, because like I could go in and unapprove everything if I want to be a jerk about it.
I got you. Okay.
And YouTube has been updating stuff, and so stuff in our IFD has like lost their approval. We have to go back in and click that button again.
Okay. And one more question, Naz, because I got kicked out and had to come back on again.
That's okay.
I did not see where you originally clicked to add the video. You said you have to insert, and I didn't see where you clicked for that.
Okay, it's right here.
Oh, okay, got it.
So you're gonna click on that. And then all I wound up doing was I just took the address code. I don't know where the embed codes have gone, but whatever. And then I just embedded it right here on source and then hit OK. And so I'm gonna delete that. While you're here, stop. While you're here, you can also add directions like view video and take notes. And then, so this is going to be a content page where that's all they're seeing. They're not having to do anything on the actual computer page. You can add it to you can add it to their student to-do list, like so that they know there is something to do. If they have the Canvas app, it will alert them that they have something to do. So I would encourage kids, if they have access to a phone, to do that. And you can choose the date. So this is where, like I think Mr. Thomas asked, when can kids see it? You can choose a date ahead of time and it won't show until then. And then you can either just save it, but if it's ready to go, then you save and publish. Oh, sorry. There's always an option to allow in mastery paths. Mastery paths are something that I'm still not very good at, so I just don't choose it. I'm working on mastery paths right now. Now you'll notice like I accidentally added it twice, so I can always go back and edit. And I can take one of them off. Oh, stop. I can delete one of them. And then go down and save. And now I have my video with the kids to view video and take notes. When I go and notice how it's green, if you want to unpublish it, you can do it right here. If you want to publish it, do it right there. And then when I go back to my home page, now I see how this is green right here. Oh, look, that's helpful. Except for when I go look and I check it in student view, there's still nothing there. So don't forget that you have to publish the whole module. So you should have green check marks on every section that you want kids to see. Does that help, Tina?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it's just the same thing to add a video. If you have like word problems, you just pick whatever it is that you're adding.
Yeah. And so all of these different things. So let's say that you want to add a video, and then you also want to add an assignment. But you can choose an assignment, a quiz. You can upload a file from, like if you have a worksheet, or if you have like a PDF or a Word document on your thumb drive that you want to add, so they can see. I do that a lot. That's how I avoid making a billion copies. I make one copy for every kid, and then I tell the kids, they come and ask me, can I have another copy of the notes or another copy of the homework? Nope, it's on Canvas. Get a piece of notebook paper and copy it off of Canvas. So that way I'm not spending, hours and hours in the copy room wasting paper. The page we just did, you can also post a discussion question. I've never taken a class online in my life, and so that was totally new to me, that I could have a discussion with my kids online. You can also add other external URLs, external tools. The main things I use are pages, files, quizzes, and assignments, and discussion questions, those top 5. Each one does different things. So if you want to make an assignment for the kids, so like fraction, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to add the name. And then of course, you got to go back and edit the actual assignment. So then I'm going to get into fraction practice. And this is where it kind of starts looking a little bit different. Assignments intimidated me for a long time because it just felt like there was a lot of things that you could and couldn't do. Notice it's still unpublished so that the kids aren't seeing anything that you're doing. I'm going to edit it. I can add my directions here. Measure the dining room table. And I don't know. Now I can't think of find a recipe and double it by
2. 2 is good.
Thank you. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not a math teacher. I should probably stick to my own game. And so I can have them create a Google slide. I can have them go to this quizzes link. Whatever it is that you want to do. And then you can give it a certain number of points. You can display the grade as points. You can also just display the grade as complete or incomplete. We don't know how the grading is going to go. So if the district gives you something that has a grade, probably it'll be complete or incomplete. Or you can even choose that it's not graded. So that would probably be my guess as to what they're going to do. When it says do not count this assignment towards the final grade, Canvas has a grade book, but unless you're doing every single thing on Canvas, that grade is not going to match your team's grades. So just for the future. Submission type, like if you want them to do it on a Google slide, you can have them submit it online, and or you can have them submit it on paper or something like that. An external tool, if you have them create a video. Is it a group assignment? Does it require peer review? Do you want to assign it to everyone, or do you want to assign it to a specific course section? You can give it a due date. You can also make it available, meaning like they're only going to be able to see this assignment for this amount of time. So that is an option as well. So
Naz, we have a question.
Go for it.
This hand raised.
Go for it.
How secure is this? Like with PDFs, you run into copyright issues on things you can post?
Dawn Main, you're my copyright queen. What do you think?
Yeah, you're still not allowed to post certain things. Like it's just like a regular classroom. Like if you have a book and you can't post the entire book on here, like the pages. You have to do it. I think it's only like 10% of the book is you're allowed to actually show at a time. Same thing with like movies. I mean, if you have like workbooks and things, I'll have to ask, but I think it's along the same lines. You have to, as long as you paid for it, you can still use it. And, you know, that's like your copies that you would have made from it. But you, and it's on a secure website, so you shouldn't get in trouble because it's not like you're giving it away for free to everybody.
Right.
Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that answers it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, only people who are in your course should be able to see that work, and those are the kids that are automatically loaded in by Teams. So it's a pretty private network, I would say.
So what you're saying is, if we have, like, we bought the McGraw-Hill textbook,
right?
So we are allowed to post a worksheet from the McGraw-Hill textbook on here.
I would assume so, yes, because we paid for it.
But the only place that you could actually grade stuff is through assignment. So if we post it on page, technically you can't grade it.
So like if you post it as a page, so let me go ahead and I'm going to save and publish that. So also I'll just point out there is a rubric that you can create for assignments. I don't know that you'll need to do that. You can use SpeedGrader, and I can show you on mine, my course in a little while if you want to know how SpeedGrader works. But yeah, like different thing, like assignment, quiz, file page, they have different uses. Assignments are graded, quizzes are graded, discussions can be graded, but a file and a page are basically just informational. So if it's something that you want to grade on the computer, I would say assignment, quiz, or discussion. You can create a page where, like if you want the kids to go to quizzes or Quizlet and complete something, you can do that. Let me go grab something from quizzes. You can do that by assigning it as homework.
While you're doing that, back to Brian's question,
yes.
I would treat this like your classroom.
Yeah.
If this is something you would copy for your kids, you would put on your wall that you have bought or has been provided for you, you can post it in Canvas because this is now your classroom. If it is something that you would feel kind of iffy about passing out to kids and letting them take home, you might think twice about that.
And I would say it's probably even more secure because like if they take it home, like you don't know where it's going. They could make copies and distribute it too.
I don't think right now anybody's going through Canvas looking for copyright infringement.
I mean, probably someone is. But that's the least of my worries at this point. So like if I went and got something off of Quizzes or any other site that you use, what'd I do? Oh Lord, here we go.
Go back to your share screen.
And
click your desktop again.
Can you see that?
I just see you.
No. No one wants to see just me. Share screen. Oh, there we go. Now are we back?
Yep.
Okay. So what was I saying? So if I want to edit that, I can do it on a page and paste the link so that the kids can use it and I can publish it. I mean, that's the only other option, Tina, back to your question on, is that the only place you can grade from? Like Quizzes will grade it when they take it. But like the gradable things are mainly assignments, quizzes, and I forgot the other thing.
We have another question. Shep
Yeah.
has a question.
Go for it.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I'm on my cell phone, so I'm trying to. One thing, if you create an assignment through the test, we put it onto Canvas and assign point values, and it will grade it when they do it. If you're able to put it onto the Canvas app. Also, all the science students, which is every 7th grade student has science, they've used because we do Canvas in our science classes. So they've all know how to do it. I put an assignment and I haven't had any responses. And basically, I just asked them to either take a picture or video and send it to my email address. And I haven't had any responses yet. So I don't know if you're getting on it.
Well, right now, some students may not realize that there's anything posted on your Canvas. Like if you've posted something these last 2 weeks, they may not realize that something's posted. You also might want to check and make sure it's published, because that was my issue. But they just, unless they have the app on their phone and they're getting updates, or unless you emailed them and said, hey, I added a question just to check in, they may not realize that there's anything even on there. So
I did make sure that it is published, and I did email from Teams that I was putting stuff on the Canvas. So it might take a couple days.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to show you just here is quizzes. You can choose a quiz. You're going to name it. There are 2 different kinds of quizzes that Canvas offers. One is the old quiz version, and one is, wonderfully named the new quiz version. So, whatever. But like right now, if I created a quiz, and you could create a quiz, especially if you have a multiple choice thing, you don't have to take it as a test grade. Like you can just create it here. It's multiple choice. It grades it for you. It's super easy. So like right now, I haven't done anything to it, so I'm going to go edit it. I'm going to give my instructions, take the quiz, use a calculator, feel free to use a dictionary, whatever it is. It's going to be a graded quiz. I can shuffle the answers so that, well, hopefully they're not taking it together, but maybe they will. You can do a time limit, like it's going to be a 10-minute quiz, an hour-long quiz, whatever you want. You can allow them to take it more than once. You can also let them see their quiz responses. The incorrect ones will be marked in the student feedback. You can allow that only once. You can let them see the corrected answers. You can have them take the quiz and the answers until, the 28th. You can have it show one question at a time. So if you have a student who gets distracted or you're afraid is going to miss a question, you can have it lock the questions after answering. You can require an access code so that they can't take the quiz until you give them the access code. You can assign it to everyone, when it's due, available from, and then you can save and publish it. Well, you might be thinking, well, I haven't done anything on the quiz yet. So that's just the basic details of the quiz. But you have to, this is another, that's not really user-friendly. You have to go back up to where it says questions, and then you can start adding your questions. So a new question, I can choose to make it multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank. This is the old quiz version. You can also choose the number of points you want it to be. I want it to be 10 points. Oh. And then I make sure to click in there. You type in your choices. and make sure you choose like what's the correct answer. Is it Jones? Is it Fratina? It's Jones. It's always Jones. And then hit update question. And then now your quiz has one question. You just do that as many times as you want. And then once the kids take it, it will automatically grade it for you. So if you have like a worksheet, you might, especially because the kids can't turn in a worksheet to you, you might just type in the problems from the worksheet, or on the new quiz feature. So that's the old quiz feature where you're typing everything in. New quizzes, I got to think about where the new quiz feature is.
They've changed it.
I know. Ooh, is it still in assignments?
They've changed it. So go back into your quiz because I think it's all put together now.
Okay.
So go back into your fractions quiz and then go back to edit. And then questions. Click new question group. And then you can link it to the bank.
But I don't think I think that's still the old quiz format.
I was able to find stimulus, but I can't remember where I found it.
Wait, hang on.
It used to be in assignments.
I think it's in the dash. New quizzes button relocation. Please note the location of the new quizzes button is relocated from the assignments to the quizzes section of your course. This change now reveals two options when creating a quiz.
Okay, go back to your course. And then instead of click on the left-hand side quizzes.
Yeah.
And then new quiz, add a quiz.
Ah, there we go. So if you do, thank you, Andy. If you do, if you're creating a quiz and you want to use this new quiz format, let me go through that one more time. You're going to go to the quizzes on the left-hand side, create a new quiz, add a quiz, and choose new quizzes. So those of you who are like, grind typing that whole word problem in 20 times, you can do this and you can create it. And so now you're going to create it. It looks a little different to create, but you can, the settings are still here. So you can still do shuffle questions, shuffle answers, one question at a time. You can still do all that. But then you're always going to build. And now your add question here is right here, this little blue thing. But there are all different types of questions you can add. So let's say you want to add multiple choice or matching. You can do an essay or fill in the blank. I will say that those require you to go back in as the teacher and decide the grade. You can also add a stimulus. So when you add a stimulus, that's where like you can add, like you can clip a, I'm losing my words. You can clip a piece of text and you can add it in here. You can also add like a video or a PowerPoint slide or a link to something that you're not having to type in a whole thing. So like if I wanted to add a picture, like if I wanted to clip something from a STAR test and then put it on here, I could do that. And then what the kids will see is they'll see the stimulus on the side and then like right here, and then they'll choose their answer over here. Does that make sense?
So for math, if you wanted to put a word problem as your stimulus, you could have a series of questions. What's the first step that you do? What formula are you going to use for history, you could put in a cartoon on the left side and then your questions about it on the right. This is one of those things that really, I always use new quizzes instead of old quizzes.
Mm-hmm. So then your stimulus would be over here on the left, and then we would attach a question, like multiple choice over here. And so that they could see this way they can see what they're supposed to be watching or looking at the whole time. And then you would have a question over here with answers. How's everyone doing? Oh, I went to the wrong thing. Other questions, other ideas?
Naz, just to go back to Joan's first question, if she's trying to add something and she needs to put it like maybe under the second option, because once you add something, it always goes to the bottom. Can you show them how to drag up to wherever they need it?
So let's say I want to have them take this fractions quiz as a pre-assessment. Over here, these little, just grab it and move it wherever you want it to be.
So that's going to be the easiest way to edit anything the district gives you, is create whatever page you want. It'll pop down at the bottom and then drag it up to where it needs to be for the students.
Yeah, you can also use the 3 dots on the right-hand side to remove things, to move them. If I want to move it to the bottom, now it'll move back to the bottom. The other helpful hint that I try to do is I try to label things as like number 1 in the title, so that my kids know, like, do this first, do this second, do this third, because, you know, it makes total sense to you that you would just start at the top and move downward. But some of the kids will say, well, I didn't know what to do first. So you can always edit what you call something from here. Personally, I think that the place where kids are going to get most, where you might get most of your questions from kids are just like, some kids will feign that they don't know how to log in at home. I get that from parents a lot. Well, they didn't know how to log in. They always go to AISD website and log in with their Rapid Identity. You will have some kids who will say, I don't remember my Rapid Identity password. And if they say that, there is a little place that says need help. Hopefully they have filled out their challenge questions, and that will allow them to reset their password. If they absolutely can't get logged in, they've tried everything, you can submit a help ticket through Raquel and she will reset their password, or insert a help ticket on the AISD website.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Apparently I can also now change the passwords. They've given me the power. So I'm going to learn how to do that today, because I learned about it yesterday in my library meeting. So yeah, you can send them my email too. So maybe Miss Raquel's not inundated with emails if people say they forget.
Yeah. And a lot of times if it's just like a password reset, if you'll just email Raquel or now Dawn, they can reset it super quick. Now, it's always going to reset back to that temporary AISD 1234 password. Remind the kids, like, they have to change it right then. They can't use AISD 1234 as their password forever. That happens a lot when we get new kids, and then like teachers just think, oh, well, they're logged in for now, that's all I care about. It's a temporary, so like 24 hours after they first log in with AISD 1234, it's going to lock them out again. So make sure they change it. Any other questions about Canvas? Part of me feels like it's too much, and it's hard to know what it's going to look like when it comes to us these next lessons. So don't panic. Like, our kids know more than you might think because they use it in science. A lot of them use it in English class. It's going to be okay. And then also, any of us can help you at any time.
I have a question from Stein.
Yes.
How is there a way to share stuff from teacher to teacher? Like Patterson and I share classes, but I don't have, when I go into my Canvas right now, I only have access to the ones that are actually on my roll, even though we share classes.
You can do that. I have to think about I have to think about where that is, because I know you can do it, because that's how I learned how to do it. Mandy Dowd gave me access to hers.
Are you talking about like adding a teacher to your class, or just you want Patterson to have access to whatever you're putting into yours? Because you can always share things to the Commons.
Oh, that's a good
download it from there.
So yeah, do you want it for like a shared class, or do you want him just to have the same materials? Like,
ideally, I'd like to be able to interact with his students as well as mine.
Okay.
I think you go to people.
Yes. No.
People who need people.
Oh, that makes things so much better. I really like that.
You're the first person that's liked my singing.
Wait,
I always like your singing.
Add people.
Say that again.
If you click on the plus sign, add people.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can add another teacher.
So like a co-teacher, yes. Now, keep in mind, like the reason after I finally figured out Canvas, I told Miss Dowd, I need you to take me off of your classes, because like Kimberly keeps emailing me about how to help her with her math. Like, so if a kid emails you or whatever, then like both teachers will be able to see it, but that's not a big deal. And then you can even choose like which periods you want to add them to, or if they can interact with users in their section only. But yeah, I think that would be, thank you, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Would
that
be the same for, this is Donaldson, by the way, with all the history teachers that are sharing Venturi's kids?
I would assume so. Are they listed under your teams?
No, Bonero is the only one that has access, and it's just under her teams.
So she should be able to log in and do the same thing and add y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know I have all of the first period kids, and then second period it's me and Bonero split, and then fourth period it's all three of us have his kids too. It's a little
you might email and say, can we get these kids reassigned?
Yeah, if the counselors can just reassign them to teams, it will automatically upload them to your Canvas. That might be the easiest. Otherwise,
email the counselors, you said?
Yeah, but also I don't know, you might want to just wait until we find out what's happening, what it's going to look like. I mean, if they're going to give just like participation grades on these kind of things, or no grade at all, it's not going to be that big of a deal right now to have them in Bonero's class. But I don't know, you might get a jump on it just in case we go to phase 3. I don't know.
Okay. And then I had another question. How do you, on the side where it has the eyes that they're, so you can't see, how do you do that on all of your tabs on the left-hand side?
Wait. Let me go to
all those on the left-hand side. How do you get the eyes to not be on there?
So that the kids can't see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me show you. Which is very helpful, because like right now you see the kids can see a lot of things, including chat. I will say though, in all the years I've been using Canvas, really only one kid ever tried to use chat to like talk to people and steal answers, but no one ever talked back to her because they didn't realize that they could do it. But you know, kids are sneaky. So on the left-hand side, go down to settings right here. It's the very last one, and click on it. This is where also you can choose you can do lots of things. You can choose an image for your class so that they can easily find your class. You can make it as pretty or as nice as you want. But to do that, you're actually going to go to do this thing on the left-hand side. You're going to go to navigation right here. And now you've got all these things. You're going to drag and drop the items that you don't want the kids to see. You're actually going to drag them down here below. So like anything that you don't want kids to see, like chat, you're going to grab it. And you're going to drag it down below. Or if you don't want kids to see conferences, I basically take away everything except for modules, because everything that I'm going to give them is loaded into modules. But that's just me. Other Canvas users, how do you feel about that? Anyone?
I take away everything but modules too.
It's because it gets confusing for kids about where to find things. And so you just drag down everything that you don't want them to see, which is basically everything other than modules. Because even if I use like Edpuzzle or announcements, I think I left announcements on mine, but it's not even really worth it. And then you can't drag home, it's going to stay there. Don't drag all that mess for nothing. So make sure you always go down and save at the bottom. And then when you hit save, now you've got all those disabled for kids. How do you check it? You always go to student view and make sure, yep, all they can see is modules. Good question. Thank you for reminding me about that.
So one more thing, we created that quiz under quizzes. We're gonna have to add that to our module.
Oh, yeah.
We created a new quiz.
I don't think I saved mine.
So if you go to quizzes and you create a new quiz, it's going to show up here where it says fraction quiz. I think you called them both fraction quizzes.
Oh, that's why.
No, you called it Zoom quiz.
Why is that not showing up?
I
probably didn't do the settings. Like, nope. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, did I set it for a different time? I don't know. That's weird. It may be because I don't actually have any questions on it yet.
We are at about an hour for the Zoom, so if you need to leave or anything, that's fine. We will post the recording into group messages, and we will also, I'm going to put my phone number in group messages, so if when you're playing around with Canvas, you have questions, you can call or text me. But if you need to leave, thank you for joining us, and we will post this into the group messages.
And if you want to stay because you have other questions, please feel free to stay. It is weird to teach without being able to see people's reactions and faces. I don't like it. It makes me feel self-conscious. Any other questions? Any other things that we can help you with?
Commons.
Commons.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's say that I add all these things and I get it all perfect the way that I want, and I want to share it with my team. Can I do that, and how can I do that?
Yes. Oh, so I love you so much because you're segueing right into what Andy just brought up. So ours is published. So what did I just do?
Go back to your course.
You know, I just had a brain fart. I'm sorry.
So you created this whole module with fractions and practice and a quiz, and you want to share that with your team. So you're going to click the 3 dots next to where it says spring break and share to the commons.
And basically what he's doing is like putting it out there for whomever. So I can share it just with me, or I can share it with all of Arlington ISD. I don't want that. I usually do all of Arlington ISD because sometimes other English teachers create things in the district and then we share together. You can type your description. You can also tag it so that people can find it. So I usually tag things in JH.
I always tag 053.
Or 7. I can't remember what. I'm just gonna tag it. And for some reason, they always want you to choose an image. I think that's ridiculous, but whatever. You can choose an image from your computer, or you can use one like from Flickr or something like that. And then
just for Tina, for you, you're definitely going to want to put a tag on yours for Nichols or something, because the other way to search is by name, and I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few Joneses. So you're definitely going to want to put a tag that says Nichols or Mustang Math or something like that.
And so basically once you do all that, and you can choose like what grade level, when you do all that, it is in what's called the Commons, and then other people can go and download it, import it from the Commons. So like over here on the left-hand side, you've got that Commons button. So I can search by title. I don't remember what I called it. Or I can search by name, like Nasworth. And it'll show you all of my modules that I've posted to the Commons.
The other good thing about this is you created this great thing right now, and you're going to want it next year.
Yep.
And they're going to archive all of your classes, and you won't be able to get the stuff you created unless it's in the Commons.
So like, if I want to import that, so you would, Tina, you would just send your teacher, you would name it, and you could name it Nichols 7th grade unit 1, like Nichols Math 7th grade unit 1. So like, there's no denying it. And then you just choose that module. They go to the Commons, they choose it. They can even choose like which things from it they want. And then they just, like if they want everything other than the pre-assessment, then I think they can, well, maybe you can't. It lists all the things that you have, and then they just import it into whatever class that they want it in. I have a lot of classes. Most people don't have that many classes, but I can import it into my Zoom Canvas class that I'm using today, and I can import that in. And then now my imported Commons class is right here, or module, sorry, not class. So yeah, if you create something, you just share it to the Commons, and then any of your teachers can get it, or if you're working with a teacher from another school in the district, y'all could create stuff and share there as well.
One more thing. So when you import it, it's all published. So let's say you don't want them to see this right now. You can just unpublish the module. You don't have to do every individual activity.
Yeah. So when I go to Student View, you'll see it's not there anymore.
And one more thing about the Commons, sometimes if it's a large module that you're importing, it will not show up immediately.
Right.
You may have to check back in like an hour later, see if it's there, and then unpublish or publish whatever you need. But sometimes those large modules take a bit of time to actually show up in your course.
And that might be a way that I just don't think that the district is going to force teachers to go do all that and import things from the Commons right away. But if we go into phase 3 and phase 4 like that, I actually, I don't even know what phase we're in right now. If we go into it where we're teaching new TEKS and you're having to create things, the Commons is a great place where you can kind of share pieces.
Mr. Pennington just shared his course with me, and I got an email saying that I have to accept it. So that's
good to know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Is this at all helpful?
Yes. I
Very helpful.
I wanted to say thank you because I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And I had Canvas training, but it was like years ago.
Yeah.
I never used any of it because, I mean, for math, for us, everything is about work.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you notice with this, there's not very many ways that students can show their work.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't prevent them from using a calculator.
Right.
So, I mean, there's some things that I feel like moving forward that I could get them to do with it, but there's a lot of components that are going to be missing if I just totally try to depend on Canvas.
Right.
So, I think it kind of needs to be understood that everybody right now is in a different place, and I'm at place 0. So that's what I want people to understand. So I'm hoping that the district will give us things that we could use, because for me personally, that would be very helpful if I could just publish it, and then I can use this time to just figure out how to work Canvas. I'm really not worried about the students. Thanks to you guys, it seems like they should already know what they're doing, but I want to use this time to familiarize myself more with Canvas. But I just wanted to say thank you. I feel a lot better now. But
Ditto.
I'm hoping that the district gives us some information, because I don't want to get an email on Friday saying, okay, well, here's some stuff, and now I need you to pick and choose and publish it.
Right.
Because, you know, like, I want to feel comfortable and I want to feel confident, because I know that the students are feeling some certain type of way. So, you know, I never want to go into anything blindly. So I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I feel a lot better, even just knowing now, because I have never used Zoom before this week. One of my friends uses it. She is a career services manager at Tarleton, and she uses it all the time to teach to people all over the state of Texas. And I was like, oh Lord, if she can do it, I can do it. But even just being able to share your screen on Zoom. So like if you have a kid who's struggling, like you can share your screen and show them exactly where they're supposed to go. So like this has been a learning process for me too. I will say, Tina, like on the quizzes feature, in the old quiz feature, there's something called the Respondus Lockdown, and I haven't ever used it. I know that Miss Mitchell used it a few times, but it basically locks them into the quiz so they can't go at least look for things online. They could still use a calculator on their phone, but like I don't think you can ever get around that. I do find, I mean, I literally started using Canvas as an online file storage. I used to have a big file box, and I would put 50 extra copies of every worksheet or every assignment in the folder for that day. And I just got tired of having to make copies all the time. I mean, I forced myself to use Canvas just because I wanted to be out of the copy room. That is literally why I started it. And so it really, for a long time, was just an online place to store, you know, PDFs and worksheets so that kids could find them and do them on their own, or for kids who are absent. It is a great thing for something, even just to keep up with that kind of stuff for when kids are absent. You could also use it just as a place for like remediation tools. Like I need you to go take this or I need you to go watch this video, or, you know, these other things, so that it's not just like them having to do work on Canvas. You can kind of shape Canvas to be whatever you need it to be. And like I said, I literally used it as a file cabinet online, probably a good year and a half before I ever even gave an assignment. So don't be afraid of it. Just play around with it. They'll only see what you allow them to see.
And if I could just add one thing, if you have not used Canvas before, my suggestion would be keep it simple.
Yep.
Don't try to do an elaborate project the first time we're having to teach completely remotely. So stick to, you know, simple assignments that you can put on that the students can access easily and give you answers easily. The time for like elaborate things that you want to do in Canvas is when we're back to school at whatever point that's going to be, and have the chance to actually work with kids face to face while they're using Canvas. So just for this time, do it as simple as possible to where we can get the information to the kids.
Yeah, it's good advice, Bradley. Any other questions or concerns?
Mr. Johnson is asking, can you assign a task just to a single individual student? I don't know that I've ever done that, so I don't know.
Tried it, but let's try it. So I'm gonna name mine Jeremy.
I know you can assign a quiz to just one kid.
Yeah, let's try an assignment. I've never tried to assign just to one kid for that. A good question. So Jeremy's assignment is to do this, and it's worth 100 points. I can assign it to, let me take off everyone. I might have to do it. Let me do it in one of my other classes that actually has people, because right now I don't have anyone enrolled in my Zoom Canvas class. So let's try it here. Sorry. Everyone is quickly learning, like, Naz talks to herself as she works. That is absolutely true. Let's see. Could I assign it just to TJ? Yes, I could just assign it to TJ Adrian. And make it do at a specific place. So yeah, you can assign something just to one kid. You just have to take off. It's always going to preemptively do everybody, so take everybody off. But like, I can assign it just to my second period or just to my fourth period. To Dylan, he would freak. He would just ignore it. So yeah, good question, Mr. Johnson. I'd never thought of that. So if you have kids for like that need some remediation, you can do that.
Yeah, it's a good way to differentiate if you've got kids only have to do half the work or something like that. That's good.
Anyone else? All right, last chance. Okay, well then I think you guys have been an amazing audience. I'm sorry if I rambled on or if I didn't make sense. Bradley, will you make sure to include my phone number in that email? I don't mind anyone let me know, like, hey, I'm stuck at this place. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up and offering suggestions and asking good questions.
Thank you very much.
All right. Where's my...
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
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 I was like, where is... Let's pause. Stop sharing.
Don't forget to